In today's video, I'm going to show you all some of my most useful and favorite tips and tricks for the all-new Bandit Tower and Critical Tower Defense. Let's get right into it. Alrighty, hello, and welcome back, or welcome to the Shotus official YouTube channel. In today's Critical Tower Defense video, we're going to take a look at some awesome tips and tricks for the all-new Bandit Tower. Of course, before we do that, it is important to discuss a little bit about the Bandit for those of you who may be unfamiliar. Oh, and by the way, I already have done a full Bandit review, which you can watch at the top right corner of your screen. Anyways, the Bandit is a brand new tower meant to replace the underwhelming Scout, which used to be CTD's starting tower. Now, however, that honor has been bestowed upon the Bandit, which does appear to be a significantly better tower than the Scout. For example, the Bandit immediately starts off at 2 times the cost of Scout, but it also deals 2 times the damage. Additionally, at the maximum level, the Bandit is capable of doing 14 damage per second, while the Scout is only capable of 12, which doesn't seem like a huge difference until you factor in that the Bandit is also capable of area damage thanks to its melee sword, allowing the tower a significant boost over the Scout. Anyways, let's get into the tips and tricks, starting with placing Bandit close to the path. Yes, I know, this might seem fairly obvious given that the Bandit wields a sword, but placing this tower close to the path, especially within a bend, will allow you to absolutely maximize the Bandit's fairly limited range. The sword helps a lot by dealing damage to about 5 dummies at one time, greatly reducing the damage that the Bandit must deal with its pistol. On the topic of path placement, let's talk about perfect positioning for the Bandit. And yes, I know that this tip goes for basically all ranged towers, but if you can put the Bandit down inside of a C or S bend, then it'll do a lot more damage, even though the sword doesn't have quite as much reach. This is because the Bandit's main source of damage does come from its pistol. With that in mind, let's move on to the next few tips. So let's talk a bit about something a little bit more complex than placement when it comes to the Bandit. Upgrades! Because this tower costs $400, placing 2 of them down in rapid succession is definitely more difficult than purchasing the first upgrade, which only costs $250. However, if you can save for just a little bit, then placing down 2 bandits will be far better than upgrading just 1. Of course, after that you will want to start upgrading your bandits so that they deal more damage and eventually unlock the sword at level 2. Speaking of the sword, Bandit's sword is actually pretty good. The damage scales with the pistol upgrades, meaning that it does 7 damage every 2 to 2.5 seconds at about 5 or 6 dummies within a short area. This is why having multiple bandits close to the path will really help maximize damage, and it's even better if you can get several into the bends, allowing the sword to have nearly double the normal range. But wait, there's even more. Assuming you have the funds available, placing down several bandits along a long stretch of path will basically create a sword torture chamber for dummies, dealing big damage not only to single dummies, but also groups of dummies, really making the Bandit a powerful tower. Anyways, I think that is it for this video. Yes, I know it was short, but I still think that you guys are going to gather a good amount of info so that you can maximize the Bandit Tower. As always, if you did enjoy this video, be sure to drop a like. Don't forget to use code SHOTUS at redragonshop.com. Have a great day. Bye-bye.